They're good to go.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another epic taping of Nerdcular Warfare, where the purpose of the game is to be really good at making your point. Does it have to make sense? Absolutely not. Only against your opponent. We've got some ridiculous scenarios set for today. If you were great at debate class, or if you just like seeing people sit around and talk on podcasts about what would be better, this or that, then this is the show for you. Sponsored by Space Cadets Collection, where we're going to give away to the top competitor $50 to spend any way they like. And the runner-up gets $25. And since there's only 4 competitors, there's a high likelihood that someone's going home with stuff tonight, which makes me very happy. I'm going to bring on our contestants tonight and let them introduce themselves. All right, we've got some great competitors, some that have played before and some for the very first time. And I know everybody in this room, and I know they will all do amazingly well because I know their skill sets. Steve, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Steve. I used to do short-lived show called Inner Gamer. It was fun for a little while. I've worked for Jen before and just a local smart aleck. So I'm hoping to do at least decently tonight.
Perfect. Dirk.
Hi, Dirk Manning, the writer of comic series including Twisted Haunted Highlands, issue 4 of volume 2 just came out this week, so you can get this at Space Cadets Cadet Collection soon. Comic book writer, write all kinds of stuff. Tales of Mystery, Butts and Seats, Tony Schiavone's story, Bear But Not Dead, and special projects manager at Source Point Press. So thank you for having me back on.
He's got the actual business card now. It's kind of fancy.
I know. It's cool. Now I'm official.
Mathias.
I'm Mathias Lewis. I'm the owner of Nowhere Games and Comics in San Marcos, California. I've imprisoned myself in the comic industry for the past 26 years with no skills in anything else. So I'm kind of trapped here selling comics, doing panel hosting, working with wonderful charities like Creators Assembled. And we do claim sales on Facebook regularly every Thursday and Saturday at 6 p.m. in like direct competition with Jen. So we're always failing at that.
No, I think it's good. We lift both of ourselves up. So yours was on your Facebook page for the store?
In comics, nowhere.
JD!
You can see me here on The Experience. My work is in between the shows because I produce all the commercials and the imaging for the whole network, and along with Kyle. And you hear my voice on commercials sometimes if you're in and around Toledo, Ohio, or any of the other places I've sold my voice to.
If you close your eyes, you'll be like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
That guy.
That's right.
Okay, so all you need to do is like watch the reflection in JD's glasses to see what he's looking up on the internet. So, all right, so we're gonna start this game out. The name of this game is A Genius Outstanding in Their Field, which no one ever understands what the titles mean until we start to play the game, which is part of the fun. All right, so we're actually going to split out to our first competitors. It's going to be Dirk and JD in first round.
Oh.
This is your first round. So what you're going to find out, I'm going to give you your pairings, and then I'm going to give you your scenario, okay? Okay, so Dirk.
Yes, ma'am.
There's going to be 2 people for you. So your first person is Albert Einstein. Okay.
I'm taking notes.
Perfect. It's always a good idea.
Especially since the last time I was on, I forgot right in the middle of my...
Right.
When you start arguing last
Genius,
round.
genius I am not. But Albert Einstein, I like it.
Okay. JD. Neil deGrasse Tyson. One of my favorites. Okay, your other pairing, Dirk. Megamind.
Got it.
Okay. This is going to be fun. JD, you have Brain from Pinky and the Brain. I'm sure you figured out your theme by now. All geniuses.
Oh,
Okay, so here's your scenario. Use it to your best effect. Your scenario is they've been challenged to write a dirty limerick. You don't have to say a dirty limerick out loud, but they just know who would make of those pairs, who would be the best at writing a dirty limerick. Okay? Leading out this round is Dirk. Here's your timer. Start.
JD, look, man, I know we're starting this out with a Clash of Champions here with two people that have won the game previously and things like that. But the fact of the matter is this. We're talking about writing dirty limericks, okay? First off, we have Albert Einstein, who you may not initially think of as someone that would be fluent in limericks, but we all know that limericks, riddles, things like that, there's a certain rhythm to them. And Einstein, of course, being very good at math, that's going to be very natural for him. So we have a guy who's going to be very skilled in developing the perfect rhythm for the limerick. Now you're going to combine that with Megamind, who, as we all know, is a natural villain. Villainous, dirty mind. So really, this is like the superpower team up here, because we have a guy who's very good at rhythms and things like that. E equals MC squared, all that. Limericks can be no problem. Combined with a villain whose brain is bigger than your secondary character right off the bat.
Perfect, JD.
Well, obviously, this is hardly a matchup at all, because you got Albert Einstein and Megamind over there. Albert Einstein actually exists. Megamind doesn't. So Albert Einstein is just on his own, working on this limerick, and I don't know. He's great with physics. He's great with the math. But I don't know if he's got the linguistic skills to really go after a good dirty limerick, something that's going to have some, it's catchy, something will catch in your mind. But you got Neil deGrasse Tyson over here. He's a science educator. He's more than just an astrophysicist. He's been on TV. He's written books, and he's working with Brain, who's got that voice. He's got that, what's his name? Orson Welles voice. So obviously he's had some creative training as well. So we're talking two, sciencey combined with the artsy. They're going to really kill it.
Rebuttal.
All right, look, first off, the fact that you made fun of the fact, or tried to pick at the fact that Megamind is not real when you're talking about a talking mouse, irrelevant. Make up your mind. Okay, let's just start there. Furthermore, you're trying to put the Brain against Megamind. The Megamind was actually something Brain could never be, an actual accomplished supervillain. Brain fails every single time. And not only does he fail, he fails because a total, complete milksop idiot bungles up his plans. So it's not even like he has direct competition. His direct competition is like a Narf and things like that, and he just keeps losing. Furthermore, we're going to talk about Neil deGrasse Tyson, who actually exists following the footsteps of Albert Einstein. And he would be the first to say that. If you have any integrity at all, you can admit that as well. Albert Einstein is what Neil ascends to, along with a mouse who gets foiled by an idiot.
JD.
I really don't know what to say. It's like, obviously Brain is real. It's like when we start talking about how Brain isn't real. I don't know what universe we even in. But I think the thing is, the reason Brain always fails is because of his love, his passion, his devotion to his best friend Pinky. It's like he won't leave Pinky behind, no matter how many times he screws up. It's that kind of heart that you need to really get in there and pull out the most disgusting limerick that you can come up with. You got to have the emotion in there, and you got two big minds on your side, but your Brain, he's a lover, and Neil deGrasse Tyson is a tweeter, and he's got the language skills you need to put that all together, because he's always tweeting on the tweets and dropping knowledge bombs on people. And I think the two together, you get the perfect limerick. It would, like, if you heard it, you would die.
I love it. Let's bring our other competitors on to score this round. Feedback on this round, and then give one of these guys a point for their best arguments.
So I got to say, initially it was all going to Dirk. Dirk was the one making a strong argument that JD was just trying to break apart. And I wasn't really feeling JD's defense. Dirk had a lot of good points until JD really pulled it out at the end with the fact that Neil deGrasse Tyson is a tweeter. And, I mean, if anybody's going to write dirty limericks for the modern era, it's going to be somebody who tweets. So point to JD on that.
All right. Steve.
I've got to disagree on this one. I'm leaning more towards Dirk. I got to dock some points for JD. You said one guy isn't real. Your not real guy is real, though.
I don't talk about it. I watched the show. He was right there.
Right, and I watched the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I watched the movie too. If you stuck with I like the consistency with it, and I think Megamind has better social skills than Pinky or than Brain, because the Brain, he's very intelligent, but his charisma, he didn't put enough points in charisma. He put everything in intelligence. So I gotta give Dirk on this one. I'm gonna give the point that way.
Okay, and I am going to award my point to Dirk for this point, that the origin of all the things that Neil deGrasse Tyson knows is with Albert.
So,
and he would use that to his advantage.
You say origin, I say version 1.0. He's old.
You're like, listen, Neil will be the first to tell you he's like 50 watt in this, all right? Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, bro. The Twitter thing, that was money. That was money. I'm not gonna lie. I can't be mad at that because that was good. Scoreboard.
Let's round it up. Let's put Mathias and Steven up now. I'm not changing your scenario. You guys are still having the same scenario. You're writing a dirty limerick. Okay. Mathias, you have Stephen Hawking. Okay. And Steve, you have Sir Isaac Newton. Both geniuses. Mathias, your other genius is Jimmy Neutron. Steve, your genius is Stewie Griffin from Family Guy. Got a room full of geniuses. Can these geniuses write a dirty limerick? We're going to argue about it right now and find out. Mathias, you're leading out this round. Time starts.
All right. I mean, this one should be nice and simple, because if anyone in the world is a master of writing dirty jokes, it's going to be children. So Jimmy Neutron's going to right off the bat have the immaturity to make this easy. Well, meanwhile, you have Stephen Hawking, who is an English professor. That man already knows poetry, but the fact that he has that very scientific mind, getting something placed out in that AABBA, style limerick of 5, lines, perfect. That combination right there should make it unquestionable that they are going to be able to produce a limerick that is hilariously immature, that will make any school child laugh on the playgrounds, let alone any adult who can break past that line of maturity. The question then becomes, what could possibly threaten their lead on this perfect dirty limerick? I don't even need the remaining time.
Oh, you're going to time it on the clock. Not enough to take advantage of. Steve. Oh, sorry.
Very fair. Whenever you're ready. Sorry, screen froze. It's all good. Fair argument, I will say. But I got to give it to Sir Isaac Newton on this one. He's back from the 1600s. They had no other entertainment. How are they going to find someone else? They're going to write dirty limericks. He's got the age of it. There's no TV. There's no radio. There's nothing for him to do besides pretty much come up with gravity and write dirty limericks. That's about it. Stewie Griffin, he's all over the place in the series. Sometimes he's a little bit more flirtatious. Sometimes he's not. But he is very intelligent that he invented time travel so he could go hang with Sir Isaac Newton. They've been buds, in theory. They've been buds for a while. Of course they can do this. So you combine the two, I think I'd give it to these. I'm just going to focus on mine for the first round. I think Sir Isaac Newton's got this, along with Stewie Griffin, his best bud from time travel. Done deal.
What do you have to say about that, Mathias?
I think that the gravity of the situation is that Sir Isaac Newton has taken a few too many apples to the head to possibly even remember what a limerick is. And I mean, I'm just going to throw it out there. Stewie, too young to think of a dirty joke as anything other than poop. You know, it's simple, straightforward. You're not going to have that maturity level and that relationship status. I mean, was Isaac Newton even married? I honestly don't know, because we know and care that little about the man. Whereas Stephen Hawking, you know that man was a romancer. He has a wife, he had children, and I guarantee you he got them through limericks, dirty or not. And I mean, I can't say I'm a fan of watching the Jimmy Neutron show or movie or whatever it is, but I'm certain, without having seen it, I'm certain it was filled with dirty jokes, dirty limericks, and wonderful relationships that you can only have on a 1990s, early 2000s Nickelodeon cartoon series.
All right. Steven, bring us home.
Couple of things. One, sir, I am insulted that you would say the poop jokes are not quality content. Poop jokes are fantastic. How dare you, sir? Number two, with Jimmy Neutron, I've watched the TV series. I grew up on that show. He's got no game. I'm sorry, he doesn't. He's more focused on that. He couldn't get a girl if he tried. So his dirty jokes are going to fall flat. And on top of it, if we're really going to go down, this is a technicality, straight up technicality. The question was the challenge to write a dirty limerick. Stephen Hawking records dirty limericks. Is it the same? Is it the same of it? Technicality. I'm going to roll with the technicality on this one. Stephen Hawking is a massive genius. He could probably come up with some good work. But the request was to write one. And that is not to say he couldn't do a good job. I think his quality is great. But I'm just going by a technicality on this one.
Low blow.
Yeah.
I go by technicalities.
All right, let's bring everybody else back on and see what they have to say about that. Stunned disbelief. I love it.
JD, would you like to go ahead, sir?
Well, I mean, I thought it was a pretty even contest for most of it. You were both making salient points about the quality of the limericks that were produced from these pairings. But then when Steve came out with that brazen ableism right there at the end, I don't know. I don't know that I could. If I give him, would I be painted in the same corner as him? If I did,
Yes, whether it's a better argument.
No, not a better argument. I'm gonna go with Steve because he had a lot of great points. And poop jokes are indeed the highest form of comedy.
If I might say real quick, I have nothing against in any ableist way, shape, or form. I have the utmost respect for that community and would always help in any way that I can. It's just 100% technicality because I'm a smart aleck. Just want to make sure I put that on the record. I won't get in trouble nowhere. I apologize, Dirk. Please take the floor again.
He's trying to take the genius in the room of this group as the smart aleck.
Hey, no.
You just said poop joke. It's okay.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's comedy. It's fine. Obviously, we know that's not your intent.
Right.
No,
I appreciate it.
First round was pretty evenly matched. I was really waiting, Steve, for you to come in hot with the whole Seth MacFarlane angle and things like that, and the fact that all the dirty jokes they have in that show, right? I mean, I was waiting for it, and but I'm like, oh man, he's just coming in. He's coming in. And then you even did a non-ironic rolling in comment with Stephen Hawking. I'm like, really? Meanwhile, Mathias just came in like the hand of God in round two and just laid the smack down and earned my point.
Okay. And my point's going to Mathias because I am a sucker for a pun, and he just straight in with puns. Double punned it. Just like if I could get 5 points for the puns, I would.
Put a graphic right here. It's like boom, boom, double pun.
Mad respect, sir. All right, we're moving on to our next round and scenario. Our new matchup is going to be Dirk and Mathias. All right, here we go for the round. Dirk, your first genius is Mozart. Matthias, your first genius is Beethoven.
Oh.
I'm very fair in my matchups, by the way. Okay? And this is going to be, you're going to see how fair this roundup matchup is. Dirk, your second genius, Spock. Which clearly leaves Matthias with Sheldon Cooper.
Getting the wrong team each time.
I don't know. This seems like a pretty epic matchup. When you know what your scenario is. Your scenario for this round is trying to beat a Sicilian in a battle of wits when death is on the line. Thank you. All right, leading out this argument is Dirk.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, look. Obviously, beating Sicilian in a battle of wits when death is on the line, as we all know, takes wit. It takes intelligence. It takes precision. It takes dedication. And it takes seeing the big picture. Boy, what kind of occupation is very highly intelligent, sees the big picture, can also coordinate well, can help, paint a giant picture, create a scenario, if you will. What better does that describe than two of the most renowned, famous composers of all time? And heck, if I really wanted to get dirty about this, we could have this be Sebastian Bach, lead singer of Skid Row, come in, who also performed in modern musicals, including Phantom of the Opera, and he's tough. He's a tough little son of a gun. I'm just saying. But I mean, we're talking about big picture, pulling it all together, battle of wits. Genius.
I will pause for a second because Dirk, you don't have Bach, you have Spock.
I thought you said Bach. I thought you gave me composers. I was like, really? I was like, what the heck are you doing to me?
Fair. This is not fair.
Right. I was like, what the heck is this? Well, that's fine. I'll save Spock for round two. Spock.
We can edit this all day long. So do you want to do your
Oh, I see. I say you stick with Bach on this.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll bring in Spock. I was like, why are you giving me two composers? I'm like, what's going on? Yeah, I was like, man, look, I'm getting crippled here. No, that's fine. I'll let Bach roll.
Okay.
We're just gonna.
All right, because already you lost that land war in Asia. When we go with a game of death against Sicilians, I'm going to give you your two composers, and I'll take a composer away. My Beethoven will be the dog, just to play this out. Because if we're going to be switching wine glasses with poison in there, I'm going to take the animal who can eat just about anything outside of chocolate for this game, and then add in the fact that Sheldon's pretty much the dog of that classic TV show, and point out that his logic and analytical opinions on this will make him very aware of exactly where the Sicilian is going and how to confuse him, because both are equally amazing at confusing dialogue. Furthermore, guess who Sheldon's teacher was in The Young Sheldon? Nothing but an older Sicilian. So he's trained by the very man he must defeat with death on the line. That combination of a dog's stomach and a genius young man.
I love where this is going, by the way. Go ahead, Dirk.
Well, see, here's what ended up happening. You actually revealed why you're going to fail in everything you just said. We're playing switching it up. I'm going Beethoven and Bach. I can switch out Bach for Spock. I don't even need to. But I'm going to anyway, and here's why. First off, we all know that if Sheldon was in the room with Spock, all he would be doing is geeking out over Spock the whole time and wouldn't even engage any of the limited wits that he has in this battle. Two, Beethoven, the dog. Cool. You know what those dogs have? A big barrel of booze on their neck. I have little doubt that it would take virtually nothing to crack that open poison the dog, and it would drink it because, like you said, it eats everything. There is no wit to be had here. You're going to have one bumbling, drooling idiot fawning all over Spock, who's been traded out for Bach, and then you have a dog that can't even control itself long enough to actually engage in a battle and would surely die on the poison presented before it.
Matthias?
Well, I'm going to say that my Beethoven dog still has the spirit of the original Beethoven in him and is probably deaf to all of your comments you're throwing that way. And furthermore, is going to be just brilliant at pawing out the answer here. Because while Spock gets involved, he's going to be too busy writing sequel songs to his Bilbo Baggins ballad with the new Lord of the Rings show on its way that he will be missing the entire point as he drinks in his very wine-loving tastes of Sicilian poison. So dogs, better sense of smell, they're going to pick up that poison. Once again, stronger stomach, might be able to handle it. Furthermore, you have Sheldon, who is just going to analyze this left and right with all sorts of social awkwardness that could chase the Sicilian himself away from this battle of death, as I feel I have done in just talking on the show.
Like, cheers.
No significant other is coming my way after this.
2 rounds in a row, you guys are dissing people with disabilities.
Let's bring everybody else back on. How do you score this battle? This is a good battle. They switched it up. They truly took the rules of this game, which are there's no rules to this game, and they used them. I love it.
Well, I got, Dirk has the gift of gab. He knows how to put words together, as any good writer should. So, it was very convincing on his part. But then the puns started coming in the final round, and it's like puns are. It's. I either want to give you my point or give you negative 10,000 points. That's how puns hit me. So, I'm gonna go with Matthias for that.
Hey, Steve, what do you think?
I'm going to have to go with Matthias as well. Sorry, Dirk. I loved, the puns were good. Those are just keep on rolling. But I love how you switched out Beethoven for Beethoven the dog. That was just skillfully done because you did clarify. And I love that was just funny. So you were arguing the dog instead. That was just genius for me. I would have no way of countering that. So I got to go with Matthias on this one. Sorry, Dirk.
And I also just like the masterfulness of the switcheroos in this round just should get all of the points in the universe. But I do have to, I didn't even see that coming, that we were going to get the perfect exchange of Beethoven for Beethoven. So, Matthias, you take the round.
I'm not going to lie, though. I got to give a lot of credit to Dirk for Bach, because I wish I was so smart in that I've had 2 options. I've never seen Jimmy Neutron, and I have never watched the Nerd Show with Sheldon. I came
right. See, there you go.
That's what it's called. The Nerd Show with Sheldon. Yeah.
The Nerd Show with Sheldon. No, that was good. No, yeah, I knew. I knew when the dog came in, I was fighting an uphill battle. The puns were just as a guy who does a lot of puns myself.
That's right.
Very appreciative.
No promotion.
Tales of mystery as well. Yes, no pun intended. Well played, sir. Well played.
Okay. All right.
It was an honor to battle among such a brilliant writer.
And now I'm just glad to know you're still going to carry my books now that you got all 3 points.
I know that you gave me that victory. That's what it was.
Well earned.
The now Dirk Manning section of Nowhere Games and Comics.
Right. You get a big sign right on it. I beat this guy.
It'll have a big picture of me and then all of your books.
Yeah, 3-0. Right.
That's right.
Well done.
All right, JD and Steve, let's see what your matchups are.
This is the arena now. This is where it's serious.
You guys should do some stretchings. All right, here we go. This is JD's first genius, Picasso. Steven, your genius is Vincent van Gogh. Your matchup, JD, is Rick Sanchez. Rick and Morty. I'm not going to shame you. Someone tried to nerd shame me the other day. I was like, who's...
No, I got it. It took me a second, but I got it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Steve is staring me down. You're trying to get in my head. Stop it.
Yep. True. All right, Steven, you've got also Professor Farnsworth from Futurama. Okay? You're still trying to beat a Sicilian in a battle of wits when death is on the line. Leading out this round is JD.
Well, I kind of feel like I've been set into this battle on easy mode because I got, Picasso and Rick from Rick and Morty. He literally can do anything. You give him, he's like MacGyver times 1 million. You give him a trash can and a piece of string, and he'll create an interdimensional portal to some place where he wants to go and buy drugs, probably. And then Picasso is on that journey with him because he was a party guy, and also he can see the world in such weird perspective. And if you ever looked at a Picasso, it makes absolutely no sense because we get tiny little brains. He's got this huge brain that can see shapes and planes where there should be, three-dimensional pictures. And it's just amazing what his mind can do. Those two minds together would, completely blow Vicini out of the water, literally, with probably a large space cannon in the case of Rick. So enjoy.
Steve.
Interesting topic. It's actually kind of funny, but I've never seen the movie that it's from, but if I'm taking this literally, fun fact, I'm actually Sicilian. My last name is from my dad. My mom's side is Sicilian. Have you ever been to a Sicilian wedding when everyone's drinking? It's crazy. Across the board, it is just insane. And I have to say, with Professor Farnsworth, I feel like when the Sicilian's coming after him, Professor Farnsworth is asleep. The Sicilian's going to stop moving because he doesn't see what's going on. The vision's based on movement. Everybody's moving around everywhere. With it, Professor Farnsworth is already asleep. Sicilian's going to know what's going on and going to walk away. Kind of like the T-Rex from Jurassic Park. Vincent van Gogh, colors, beauty, all of that. Like you were saying, very close to Picasso as well. Those colors are going to distract the Sicilian. See, he's not going to know what to do with it, and then he's just going to be confused with the snoring, and the whole thing is just going to, I don't know what to do at this point. He's just going to wander off, and you won.
All right, JD, what'd you say?
Yes, indeed. Yes, I won is what I think you just said there. Is because it's like they're not like you said they're going to win by doing nothing. That was your argument. Farnsworth will fall asleep, and then Van Gogh would just like chase blue and gold butterflies out into space. That's the thing. Is like those are two. They don't have any direction in life, and I got Picasso and Rick. They're driven. They have things they need to do, and when they need to get through a Sicilian, it doesn't matter if death is on the line because they're just gonna, they're gonna come up with a plan that you didn't even see coming until it already happened. That's the way it works. He's gonna Picasso will set up a room that's so filled with crazy shapes that the Sicilian would be like, I don't even know what planet I'm on anymore. Why was I having this argument in the first place?
Steven.
Couple of points here. One, what does Professor Farnsworth do for a living? This is an actual fight, and let's say he wakes up. What does he do for a living? He delivers packages and makes weapons. He literally sells super weapons to people, and he keeps a couple of them just in case. That's actually in the show. That is canon. He makes super weapons. The other thing is that I was thinking about was, Professor Farnsworth also escaped death. Rick comes back and he gets cloned, but Farnsworth escaped death. Literally, he got away from death when he should have been in essentially a coma Matrix style thing. So he escaped that. The other thing is, I'm really thinking about is Rick Sanchez. Which one? Which Rick are we working with? Are we working with Cowboy Rick? Are we working with Dumb Rick? Are we working with, Fishman Rick? Are we working with C-137? Which one are we working with? Because if we're going up against, Dumb Rick, I don't know if this is going to really fit there. Technically speaking, again, we don't know which Rick we're working with.
All right, let's bring everybody else on and see what they have to say.
I have to tell you, Steve, I thought you really coasted in that first round just by claiming your heritage. And I was like, oh, he doesn't have. I mean, hey, more power to you. But I was waiting for some hits, and then came the second round, and you just, in my opinion, started hitting haymakers. Being able to pick apart which Rick you were dealing with, Dr. Fernsworth beating death as opposed to Rick who cheats it. You pulled out my point for this round.
Yep. All right, Mathias, what do you think?
Well, the battle of wits has ended when we choose what drink we drink. And I got to say, well, the first round started a little slow. What Dirk said, that second round, amazing. JD, you came out just so powerful with that. I loved the Picasso, paintings, because that was just brilliant. But Steve won it for me in the end when he pointed out we don't know which Rick, and JD never placed that definition. Simple Rick, not going to be the guy who is winning a battle with the Sicilian. So I got to give it to Steve for just placing that portal-sized hole in your argument.
I knew it. When I heard it, I was like,
yep. Yeah,
I love technicalities, and as my grandfather used to say, we're not Italian, we're Sicilian.
I mean, I think that is the Sicilian, right there in the battle.
I went in against the Sicilian and that idea.
And I will agree. I was kind of thinking about the overall argument, and there were much more specific points to the battle made. And I do believe in this case, he's argued successfully that his team would win in this battle against the Sicilian. So well played, Sicilian man.
I was the first round of JD. I was intimidated. I was like, I gotta feel my opponent out a little bit. I didn't know where you were looking with your glasses here, so I had to just kind of take a couple of hits and then go. You know what? Okay, now I see the weakness. Here it is. That respect to you, sir.
This is why they don't have glasses in boxing.
Yes, that is the reason why they don't have glasses in boxing.
That track. The only reason. That's it. That's all.
Please put that on a T-shirt. Give no context. It just says, "This is why there's no glasses in boxing."
Right.
Just never explain what it is.
Maybe my favorite item from Space Cadets.
That's it. That's the first Nerdcular Warfare T-shirt.
That collection logo on it. Or it actually be your store logo. You came up with it. You could rock that.
We didn't know where Comes in Games has a head on it at least.
Yeah.
Nothing. Is that close?
On his logo.
If you make it in black, I want one.
All right. We'll have a trademark decision and discussion with Jen afterwards.
It's totally cool.
I would wear that, and I would never explain it.
There's no rules.
Right. Nothing. Somebody's doing a podcast or something, that would just be the shirt. Be like, oh, what kind of deep philosophy is this? Like, well, if you want episode 17 of Nerdcular Warfare in round 2.
All right, so we're in our third and final round before we get to our finals. This is pretty epic because we're going to match up someone who just slayed in the last round and someone who was slain in the round before. So let's see what happens. This is a Dirk and Steven round. All right, Steven. Your genius is Leonardo da Vinci. Dirk. Yours is Michelangelo. Steven, your other very capable genius is Sherlock Holmes. Dirk, you're going to love this so much.
Oh, no.
So much. Your genius is Dr. Frankenstein.
Michelangelo and Dr. Frankenstein.
You ready for your scenario?
I don't know if we are, but
super tough one, man. I think this one would fail us all. We would all fail for sure. Okay, scenario is figuring out which fire alarm is chirping at 3 a.m. Leading out is Steven this round. Ready? Fight.
All right. Now, I'm not sure exactly what his official last name is, but when I think of Leonardo, I think of one of the Ninja Turtles. And if we're going Ninja Turtle versus Ninja Turtle, Michelangelo's too busy eating pizza, Leonardo's too busy leading the team. So he's already awake at that hour fighting crime. If it's the other Leonardo da Vinci, he invented everything. He could figure it out. Very confident with that. Sherlock Holmes is literally a detective. That's what he does, is he figures things out. He's investigating. He's looking around. He's trying to find clues. If he's just looking for a fire alarm chirping at 3 a.m., I feel like he's got this. I feel like easy enough said. He's literally one of the, I'm not going to say the greatest detective because I'm going to give that to Batman. But Sherlock Holmes is definitely up there. And I feel like if he was played by Robert Downey Jr., he's going to get an even bigger win on that. I've only got 3 seconds left. I don't have anything else. I burned up material.
Dirk.
Well, Stephen, it's hard to argue about your geniuses when I understand, like, last round, I misheard a name. Jen specifically told you Leonardo da Vinci, and clearly you are already trying to get to my side, knowing that my plain old Michelangelo is, of course, Michelangelo Cowabunga, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Because here's the thing. If we're trying to find which fire alarm is chirping in the dark at 3 a.m., newsflash, Michelangelo lives in a sewer where it's always dark. It's going to be very easy to find it. Okay, that's step one. Step two, the fact that finding the alarm, as we all know, I know you're big on your technicalities, the whole purpose of finding the alarm is fixing it. Dr. Frankenstein, master of electricity, will not only be able to find it with Michelangelo, but then be able to fix it. That is elementary, my dear Watson. Game over, and you're not going to have to crack the code to try to beat this one because I've already won.
All right, Steven.
If we are going Ninja Turtles on this one, then it's the same argument that if Michelangelo can do it down the sewer, so can Leonardo. That's a fair point. Neutral. Those are going to knock each other out. For Dr. Frankenstein, what else did he do besides make something that overshadowed him a lot? Plus, the question, if we're going by technicalities again, was not to fix the fire alarm chirping at 3 a.m. It was to find it at 3 a.m. Dr. Frankenstein, I mean, he doesn't really have electricity except for lightning. Now, Sherlock Holmes, dependent upon what age he's in, maybe he's got some basic electricity. I'll give points there. I'll yield ground. I'm not going to admit that he's super far with that. But Dr. Frankenstein, aside from necromancy, what has he actually done aside from that? I feel like finding it, he's going to be too busy at night bringing more corpses back to life than actually trying to find the thing.
Dirk.
Yet again, you are demonstrating my point. You're exactly right. Dr. Frankenstein is a necromancer, and we all know that Frankenstein's creature, named Adam, by the way, is very tall. As a result, when Michelangelo, who can see in the dark, will be able to find the chirping device, Dr. Frankenstein can use Adam, Frankenstein, a.k.a. Frankenstein's monster, to actually reach and double check, because we all know to find out that's truly the chirping alarm, you have to take the battery out. And unless you have Chewbacca on your team, which you do not, sir, you have Leonardo da Vinci, not the turtle. I have the turtle, not you. And then Sherlock Holmes, who's probably going to be too strung out on opium to even know what the hell's going on to begin with. Okay. Dr. Frankenstein can bring Adam, not the monster. I'm not the one that's making fun of people who are like disabled or dead in this whole group. Thank you. And he can reach up and check if that is indeed the chirping alarm.
Good job. Let's
Wish
bring
I had a
it
rebuttal.
back. Mathias, what do you have to say about such things?
That was my favorite battle yet, and probably would be my favorite IDW comic if we could get Kevin Eastman to draw it. And massive credit to Dirk for that Dan Brown reference at the end of round one. Very nicely placed. But I got to give Dirk a lot of credit for the point where, yeah, Jen said Leonardo da Vinci, which kind of knocks Leonardo out of the Turtles role for Steve's argument, though he did make some great Turtles references in there. So with that, I pretty much got to give my point to Dirk. Like he had the turtles on his side. He had Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster very clearly separated. The only problem I have is calling, Dr. Frankenstein a necromancer over a necrologist.
I figured that I'm probably not going to win this game, so I wasn't really paying attention anymore. No, I have to go pretty much with Dirk because it was great. I just couldn't get past the fact that, like, if she had just said Leonardo, I could see you go with the turtle, but she did say the whole name. And it's like, I can't, my brain can't follow that tunnel down to the end where you had pizza and a giant rat that knew Kung Fu.
Yep. And really, I'm going to give Dirk my point, but for a different reason. I did like the argument for him being able to utilize everything at his disposal, which included his monster, to be able to, put his ear up next to it and go, oh, with the thing going. And I really, there was one weakness in Stevens, and I really think he should have totally gone and embraced the whole Robert Downey Jr. part of Sherlock Holmes.
Oh! Yeah.
And really put him in the Iron Man suit and had him fly right up there and figure it out. So Dirk.
I was basing my Leonardo thing over that they don't have last names. We don't know. Maybe that is his last name. Maybe it's his full proper name.
See, you said that.
If you would have said that right, and then he has the long sword, you could have just like poked it to check to see if it was.
That's because I was Googling and I was like, do the Ninja Turtles have last names? Came up with nothing. So that's what I was basing. Fair enough. Call it my inexperience versus experience. Next time I'm doing this, I've taken notes from you, sir. Very well.
I will say this though. Don't take notes on Dirk on how to find that fire alarm, because if he's poking him with a sword, that's a guaranteed electrocution right there.
Well, see, but you got to remember though, if it's Frankenstein's monster that's doing it, it'll just make him stronger.
Oh.
See,
I didn't know we could bring in extra people though.
Steve, listen, man. Let's be real.
No rules.
When you put Dr. Frankenstein on my team, I think that was like a sympathy thing because you were a beast. I had to go after you on a technicality, So I
respect technicalities. Even if they're used against me, I respect it.
Thank you. Good battle, sir.
Technicality heal thyself.
Yeah.
And as Dirk says, these battles will haunt you for the rest of time. If you think of other things to argue. Yeah.
I'm just getting revenge for my Rick and Morty versus Darth Vader. After the fact, I realized how I could have won it too. So they're like, oh! That's all right. That's all right. We're good. The scales are balanced.
All I'm hoping, Dirk, is that I made you sweat at least a little bit.
Oh,
at least a little bit. I'm happy with. I'll take that as my win.
When I'm off camera, I'm like.
All right, it's time for Mathias and JD to battle. Let's see, JD, your first genius is Thomas Edison.
Mm-hmm.
Mathias, in the classic battle of the geniuses, your genius is Nikola Tesla. Okay. JD, your other genius is Doogie Howser. Don't worry, Mathias. Your genius is Dr. House.
Never seen an episode of the show.
Well, then you have all the world to imagine what it was like.
That's right. Or use anything with Dr. House. Okay. Your scenario still is figuring out which fire alarm is chirping at 3 a.m. and leading out is JD.
Well, here I got the perfect matchup here because, you've got not only, one of the greatest inventors of our time. He probably knows the inner workings of the fire alarm without even having to think about it. It's just like, boom, it's right there. He invented light bulbs. I'm sure he can figure out how a fire alarm works. You've got the deft surgically trained hands, not only deaf, but also young and vibrant, of Doogie Howser combined. These two powers combined, just like Captain Planet, are going to, be able to track down and disable whichever of these fire alarms is doing that annoying chirp at 3 a.m. Now, Thomas Edison, not a great guy. He's not someone, he's not a nice man, but nice doesn't win contests. He's ruthless. He will find out which one of those fire alarms is chirping.
Science.
All right. Well, this is easy. I mean, as you pointed out, Thomas Edison, not a nice man, because what did he do? Mainly steal from Nikola Tesla, the true genius here. And also one of the only people to team up with both Wolverine and Batman in a film played by David Bowie. So you're already at just the top tier of brilliance in this man. Throw in the fact that we can, at least with Dr. House, determine that we know it has nothing to do with certain diseases that start with an L. I had very little time to Google this. So I can say, though, that Sir Francis Upton, the creator of the fire alarm, was good friends with Nikola Tesla. I did Google that. So my absolute confidence through the best form of research ever, a Google device using Google, and I swear there couldn't possibly be any bias in that. No product placement here. Nikola Tesla is going to be able to figure this out like nobody's business and has the electricity to finish it.
I love that you brought up that Nikola Tesla, that Thomas Edison stole from Nikola Tesla. He did not, because nothing Nikola Tesla made ever worked. He was an insane man who had great ideas. He could never get it. He was just looking for funding. That's what he was. He was looking for funding. And then you've got Dr. House on your side. He's going to be high on Vicodin. I get maybe he has advantage because it's a puzzle. It would interest him. But his area of expertise is medicine. He doesn't know anything about electronics. He doesn't know anything about fire alarms and acoustics and how to track down. That's the great thing about Doogie Howser. He has those young ears. He's 17. He can hear frequencies that older people can't because he's got those small, little tiny ear bones. So he's going to be able to track down that sound and then have the deafness advanced. And of course, Thomas Edison, he was kind of a big guy. He'll lift him up and he'll be able to turn that off.
All right, let me be an old man about this, because I can tell you something about Doogie Howser. That youthful little boy is going to spend too much time blogging on his ancient-ass Apple trying to write about that alarm he's hearing rather than finding it. Well, Dr. House is the type that can be easily ignored and has a cane he can use to poke at the device and get the thing off, which all of us, I'm sure, are far too familiar with, having had fire alarms go off in our house. But you combine that with Nikola Tesla's electricity and understanding of batteries, the thing that leads to that annoying alarm system, it's going to be an easy fix. An old man with a cane and a guy who knows about electricity, we will put a stop to that instantly, as opposed to a man who's going to have to go steal the research on how to find or turn off an alarm, and the young boy who's going to be too distracted with medical cases and the early invention of the internet and blogging on his blue screen Apple computer. Not going to happen.
All right, let's score this round. All right, Dirk looks like he can't control himself. So.
Oh, the blue screen Apple computer at the end. But that is just. I mean, JD, you were coming in for blood. I mean, and I give you a lot of credit for that. And I'll be honest with you, I thought you had this locked in the second round. You were just plummeling them. But then Mathias just, I don't know what's in that drink, but man, came in hot and
Iocane powder.
Whatever it is, they got you a point, brother. It got you a point.
Okay.
Big Manning section.
JD, it was close, JD. This was but
I understand. You got to go with your heart, man. You got to go with your heart.
But the blue screen popped me, so that was it.
The whole for me, the whole first part, I was like, JD's got this, and then at the end when because you hit him hard with the Vicodin, because that's a big critical part of his whole character. That's not making fun of him. That literally, that's his thing. And he gets in trouble with it a lot. But then when you busted out the cane, that's the whole time, like, talk about the cane, talk about the cane, talk about the cane. I got it just on a logical basis. He's way too annoyed. He's going to walk around and go, oh my God, I don't want to do this anymore. And he's going to just poke everything with his cane. I got to go. I wanted to the whole time. I got to go with Mathias on this. I'm sorry. I
outmaneuvered at the last minute.
It was that last round that did it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, JD, I'm giving you my point.
Don't give me a pity point.
No.
I don't need that.
I'm super excited about us somehow managing to keep our theme of isms. So we got ageism in this round. So
I'm sorry for starting that. I love all communities of people. I'm sorry. Oh. I hope a certain someone doesn't see this episode. I'm going to get hollered at.
Really, I didn't expect to have to do confession after this game. I thought it would be a nice
I think my favorite part is dropping an ageism comment about somebody who's now in their 50s, as being the young hip one on the internet.
All right, you guys.
Not just me making jokes.
And JD, for the record, make no mistake, you know that no one gives a pity point in this. Some of us have been 3-0 in this. You earned you're good.
I got wrecked last round, so I don't know how it feels.
Yeah, I got wrecked around before that.
I was a cornered animal on this. JD was definitely on the lead there, and I just had to strike with everything I had.
I was just feeling the pressure, man. It was the final round. I had to barrel the guns.
Right.
I wish I had that round. I love both those characters. I wish I had it. Well done, sir. Both of you guys.
Yeah, that was good.
All right, final round. With the most points we have battling against each other, Mathias and Dirk. Dirk, your genius for the final round is Shakespeare. Mathias, your genius for the final round is Ben Franklin. Dirk, your Shakespeare is paired with Tony Stark. Mathias, Ben Franklin is paired with Lex Luthor. It should be an interesting battle. Here is your scenario. Figuring out how to program a microwave clock after the time change. Leading out is Dirk. Ready? Fight!
Well, look, let's just get the obvious out of the way here. The fact that we have to program a machine with Tony Stark on my side, I could stop right now. But hark, what light beyond thine window breaks? It is me coming for revenge, and I'm going to cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war, if you will, on the fact that I've got this round, brother. All right, listen. Point blank, Tony Stark rewiring a microwave is child's play to the most pitiful degree. And not only that, but let's be honest, I also understand that, microwaves can be very complex. Luckily, we have one of the best writers, the best linguists of all time to help read the manual to him in order to make sure that everything is understood properly and exactly. Master reader and writer, master technician, master of machinery, master of iambic pentameter to boot.
Mathias looks unimpressed. Go.
Well, I got to quote Benjamin Franklin that you have to love thy enemies to know your faults. And I'm a fan of both of Dirk's people, but they're a pair of bards that aren't really the brilliant minds they give off. I mean, you have a guy who has all the brilliance in the world, and he spends his billions of dollars on a single suit of armor that realistically puts all the weight on his shoulders. Where Ben Franklin, it's electric how he just applies his logic, tests the theories, puts them to use, and innovates. Furthermore, Lex Luthor, the better Iron Man, the real Iron Man of the DC universe, who can not only build a suit of armor, but puts his people in a suit of armor to defend him. This man knows how to program, mass create, and definitely never misses a meeting because his microwave is definitely set to the right time, as opposed to always late Tony Stark. So Lex, that man proves with his timeliness, he knows how to set an alarm, and Ben Franklin, just a genius.
You're going to claim that Ben Franklin was a genius when his greatest accomplishment was tying a key to a string, compared to Tony Stark, who did not, for the record, create one suit of armor. He created his first suit of armor while trapped in a cave in Afghanistan, if you go by the MCU continuity, otherwise in the Vietnam War, with the shrapnel in his heart on the original and the comic book one. So, no, don't go there and talk about Ben Franklin being genius. Ben Franklin was always late as well, documented fact. Put that in your little Googler, my friend. Okay? And, Lex Luthor, I don't even know where you come with this, suit of iron stuff. Lex Luthor is rich, I guess. No, I'm not going there. All right. Fact of the matter is this: it's very, very simple. You have a master technician, one that carried the weight, that literally resurrected the Marvel Universe franchise. He can fix a microwave clock.
Sorry, your best defense came in the last second and you didn't get there. As much as I love my Robert Downey Jr., let's face it, Howard Stark was the real genius and the moneymaker of that family who gave all his money to Tony. Whereas Lex Luthor came out of Midwestern America with nothing and built a billion-dollar corporation with his intelligence. Furthermore, Ben Franklin has the key to it all because not only is he fluent in all the different languages microwaves are in, I can definitely say that he would be able to point out that Iron Man built that suit originally in the Korean War, not in Vietnam or these other locations. And let's face it, the best microwaves, they come out of Korea, but they don't come out of caves. So Iron Man's definitely going to be having some issues there. Well, Lex Luthor literally manufactures microwaves because there's Luthor brand microwaves in the Superman comics.
All right, let's bring this back to the school.
Lex,
Check it. Don't check it until after you give points, because it only matters in convincing.
Fair enough. Don't check it.
Don't check.
You're not going to find many Stark devices that aren't cell phones. You'll definitely find a lot of Luthor home devices.
Mm-hmm. All right, Steve. Who made the better argument? Who do you
Honestly,
believe
this is
can program that microwave.
This one's honestly really closest round so far. Like I was jumping back and forth with it. I think Shakespeare and Franklin really didn't incorporate too much. There's going to be Iron Man versus Lex Luthor, and I got to give it to Iron Man. I got to give it to Dirk on this point. Yes, Lex Luthor may create microwaves. He probably doesn't manufacture them. He probably makes them here. If you can program a suit of armor and a suit of cave in the dark, I got to give it credit where that, if it's, he's quoting the MCU on it. My point goes there, and it's literally by a hair on that.
I gotta kind of go the other way, I guess, because it was very close. Again, both sides making a lot of very important points, but Lex did in fact make a big suit of armor, robot armor to fight Superman with, and it's just Tony. I think you hit Mathias hit the nail on the head. Is like Tony doesn't care what the clock says. He shows up when he wants to. So, my point goes to Mathias.
All right, great. I have to make the tie.
Welcome to the weight on your shoulders.
No. Okay, so this is the way I saw the round coming out. Super strong opening by Dirk by just quoting the heck out of Shakespeare, and appropriately quoting Shakespeare, which was very impressive. Super impressive.
I was going to bust out the Iron Tongue of Midnight, but it just seemed so obvious.
I like the iambic pentameter comment.
So thank you.
I would have given so many points if the entire argument was an iambic pentameter. Oh my gosh.
I think Dirk would be bigger than Shakespeare at that point.
Yeah. To bust that out, right.
I got really impressed by Mathias by bringing up more than just the key and kite, which is a lot of things that people think about. Ben Franklin, he was a great politician and did so much for America by going over and kissing French buttocks. And knowing
You like to kiss a lot more than that.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did.
Hey, man, kissing's a wonderful thing.
He invented the space.
Ladies, man about the town. Yep. And the other thing I thought was interesting that no one made the point of is like neither man, Lex nor Tony, would ever be in a room with a microwave. They have people for that.
Ah!
Oh. Can I give my point to Jen?
Yeah, right. Yeah, let's give
All
it a
points to Jen.
call three-way tie.
I'm sorry. Both men are just living microwaves.
It's true.
Yeah.
Tony does have a sexier armor, but I don't know. Maybe Lex's is worth is.
I don't think Lex could use a microwave in his armor. Is that big, bulky green thing? Right.
Yeah, he's got a dome, so he's like good. He's got better
Like insulation protection, right?
We have good peripherals. Yeah, it's smarter overall.
The real question is who has the better lead lining in their outfit? They can both learn from microwaves.
This is absolutely true.
Well, Iron Man, remember his first one was that iron, and I'm sure there's some lead in there. So.
Yep. But I do have to say, I was pleasantly surprised to see Mathias not only hold his own against champion Dirk Manning, but I thought really come out ahead. To me, it was a clear win. So, Mathias, it is totally you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You're the winner.
I gotta say, I didn't think I was going to take that. Dirk came in strong with those initial punches. Like I felt it.
I should have spread him out. I came in too hot. No, and you had him, man. You rocked that second round. That was awesome. Well done.
Yep. Well played to all. So, Mathias, you have to spend on whatever you need, man. If you need bags and boards, which is probably liquid gold right now.
Right.
And then Dirk, I don't know what you could possibly need, but it's on me, man.
Take that $25 and get some comics. Donate them to a local kids hospital.
Actually, you know what I want to do? Here's what I would like to do.
Yeah.
I imagine that the Incredible Space Cadet Collectibles is doing something with the Hero Initiative right now in relation to JLA Avengers. I would like my $50 donated directly to the Hero Initiative. And if there is anything that is done where there is something that could be won with that, I want that given to one of your favorite customers that picks up amazing Dirk Manning comics from SourcePoint Press.
Okay, I love this. I love this energy. It's perfect energy. All right, I got it written down. We've got it in the books. You guys are always so generous. Super awesome people. Oh, thank you guys so much for joining us for this Nerdcular Warfare. We'll see you next time. So if you watched this show and thought to yourself, I could argue better than any of those folks, I can take home the prize, or at least I want to try real hard, you should totally get in touch with us. There's information on the screen now to allow you to sign up to be part of this fun thing that we shoot every single week. So you can win prizes and or just go for a glory of saying you know more than anybody else, or at least can argue your way out of anything. All right, everybody, thank you for joining us for this episode. We'll see you guys next time for another Nerdcular Warfare.